It's 12:05. Let's get this party started. Today we're talking about dinosaur kitschy destinations all over the world. But per usual, we have our Dino 101 bingo. So should you get 5 in a row, diagonal, horizontal, vertical, send a message to Grace and she will tell you what you have won the right to do. I know that the middle square is Dustin wears something dino themed. I'm wearing my T-Rex necklace, so you can check off that middle bingo spot as we go. We're already halfway there. Well, not halfway. Again, you're 1 out of 25. Anyway, so that's our bingo board for the day. Normally, we have a dino of the day, but I was thinking about how today is a little bit different because we are talking about kitschy dino destinations all over the world, which are filled and replete, which is very weird dinosaurs and very weird interpretations of things that kind of look like dinosaurs. And since we have been doing this paleo art gallery for literally 34 straight days, you guys are masters at this point. So today, I'm excited to see you guys render your very own kitschy amusement parky type dinos. So you can choose whatever species you want, whatever size, whatever colors, but I want you to put something in the image with it that shows me like, oh, this is at a dinosaur park, or oh, this is a putt-putt place, or oh, this is like a giant slide made out of a T-Rex tail. However you want to interpret kitschy dinosaur, that's up to you guys. I'm excited to see those at the end. I'm also incredibly excited to introduce today's special guest. Oh, wait, hold on. I almost ruined the entire day. Let's try that one more time. I'm excited to intro today's special guest, ladies and gentlemen, Rachel Bouton.
Hi. Hello.
There we go. Rachel, where are you zooming in from?
I'm in Queens. I'm in Queens. In regular life, Dustin, you and I are neighbors. Yeah.
Very close, but not right now because I'm in Ohio. Although I think we all like to be where you are in this picture on the right. Is that fair?
Yes. That was taken last year in Hawaii, actually with Sarah McAnulty, Skype scientist. We went to Hawaii and collected a bunch of amazing little teeny tiny bioluminescent squid as part of our Atlas Obscura trip to Hawaii. So yeah, definitely dreaming of island breezes on this nasty, rainy quarantine day.
Oh, that was a good plug and a good segue. So the reason why I want to have Rachel on is Rachel's in charge of domestic trips for Atlas Obscura. I mean, I'll let you explain exactly what Atlas Obscura is in a minute. You also do musical improv, but most importantly, you are the biggest bus stan I know. Rachel talks about her love for the bus all the time, which made me think like there should be like a special kitschy dinosaur bus itself that takes you to destinations. But speaking of weird kitschy dino destinations or kitschy destinations in general, can you tell us like briefly what is Atlas Obscura and why did I think it would be good to have you come and talk specifically today with us?
Yeah, so Atlas Obscura is, we do a bunch of different stuff. We call ourselves the definitive guide to the world's hidden wonders. So we produce articles and we have like an atlas of places all over the world that are interesting and cool and offbeat, places everywhere that you can see unique things that are kind of hidden treasures. And what I do is I produce trips that you can take all over the US with interesting experts. And the trips are super focused on specific ways of exploring a place. So Dustin and I, we work together because you run our dinosaur trip through Colorado, which is a 5-day road trip all through the Colorado desert. You visit a paleontology dig site and do some like digging. You visit Dinosaur National Monument and see all these like track sites and yeah, so it's a big, wonderful, glorious road trip that I personally have not gotten to go on. But Dustin, you seem to have a good time.
But to be fair, you are from Denver. You're from Colorado. So without your help, like planning the route, it wouldn't have happened. And it was one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
Yay! I'm so glad to hear that.
5 days across Colorado, going to nerdy dinosaur spots with 10 other huge dino nerds. It's like this, but live in the desert. We're going to do it again. I believe it just went up on the Atlas Obscura website.
It did, yeah. So obviously right now it's not safe to travel. So we had to cancel our 2020 departure, but we do have a 2021 departure available for June of next year. And it starts in Denver. You get a behind the scenes tour of the Denver Museum of Nature and Science. And then You go all the way out to Western Colorado, do the paleontology dig. You go to the Great Sand Dunes. Maybe I'll get to join you this year. Maybe I'll pop over and see my mom, and then creep my way onto the trip for a couple days.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, enough messing around. We have a lot to get to. We're going to do the hour. I don't mean the actual top 10 dinosaur kitschy destinations in the world. I mean ones I've been to and other ones people on Twitter really enjoyed and wanted to share. But before we do that, Rachel, I have to put you through the ringer that every one of our special guests goes through. Are you ready to play Dino or not a Dino?
I am, and I anticipate I'm either going to be amazing at this or horrible. There will be no middle ground.
If you need help, you can look around the Zoom room here. We have some very smart dino scientists who may give you thumbs up or thumbs down to help you out. It's very simple. I'm going to read 10 animal names, some of which are actual dinosaurs, some of which we've totally made up. You just got to tell us if it's a dino or not.
Amazing.
If you need a spelling, I can do that as well. Are you ready to play?
I am ready to play.
Let's dig in. Animal number 1, Wendyceratops.
I think that's just weird enough. I think it's just weird enough to be true. I think a Wendyceratops is real.
You are correct. Wendyceratops is a dino. Great start. 1 for 1. Next.
I should clarify that I have been on several game shows.
You know what? Looking for images of you for this, I saw you with, I think, it wasn't Horatio Sands. Who was it you were with on, like, what was that?
It was Bobby Moynihan and Kelly Osbourne.
Okay. On what show was that?
$100,000 Pyramid.
Okay. Humble brag a little bit.
Yeah, no, but guessing things I don't know. Maybe a skill.
I mean, you're 1 for 1 at this point.
One for one.
Cocky, though. Number 2, Oliverincus. Oliverincus.
Can you spell that for me?
Absolutely. Oliverynkus. Oliverincus.
It sounded like you were making up the spelling as you spelled it, so I'm going to go with not a dinosaur.
I was reading it, but okay. You're going not, well, you're correct. That is correct.
Yes, okay.
This is not a dino, 1 and 1.
You made up the spelling at some point, so you're reading into it very correctly.
Great.
Next, number 3, Tylocephaly. Tylocephaly.
Tylocephaly.
Tylocephaly. I don't see really anyone out there giving you any help.
Let me go to the gallery. Tylocephaly. I see lots of
quick shout to Laura, who came on our trip and actually has a picture of the Royal Gorge dinosaur.
Oh, yay!
So we couldn't include that one because technically that's a museum as well, museum inside.
So Rob over there gave me a thumbs up for Tylocephaly. So I'm going to go with Rob's answer. I'm going to say yes. Oh, and Natty's saying yes too. And so is Yasmin. Okay, great. And so Zach. Yes. So yes, a dinosaur.
All right, 3 for 3. Crushing it. Moving on.
Yeah.
Mormonicus.
That seems also just weird enough to be true. I'm going to go with, oh, no. Megan's shaking her head. And Grace is giving me, okay, Mormonicus. Any other votes? Oh, Natty's got a thumbs down. Natty, you didn't steer me wrong last time. We're going to go with not a dino.
Wow, you are 4 for 4. That is
yes.
very impressive.
Thank you guys all for your help.
I didn't mention this, but there's actually a theme for the not dino animals. So you get a bonus point if you can figure that out. Thus far.
Can you tell me which ones were not the dinos?
Oliverincus was not, and neither was Mormonicus.
Oliverincus and Mormonicus.
Nice.
Okay.
Next, Spinosstropheus. Or Stropheus. Spinosstropheus.
Okay, we got a bunch of thumbs up. We got a couple thumbs downs. I think Spinosstropheus is a dinosaur, and I think it's a nautical dinosaur.
Nautical.
Doesn't live on a boat, but lives in the ocean.
Well, other than Spinosaurus, we don't think any dinosaur lived exclusively in water, but that doesn't matter because you got it right.
Okay.
Spinosstropheus is a dinosaur. 5 for 5.
Yes!
Okay, you know what it is? It's our matching checkered plaid situation.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Which is very clearly on over my pajamas, just so that everyone is aware.
Okay.
Nothing but professional.
It sounds very warm, but what are you going to do? All right, next, Oklahomodon.
Oklahomodon is oh God. I used to live in Oklahoma.
Okay.
And
I wonder what Zach thinks. I'm going to Zach, just on the spot. Zach, what do you think? Oklahomadon?
I think this is a plant because, Rachel, you spent time in Oklahoma City.
Ooh.
You think that this, like I'm being toyed with?
I think he's tricking you. Yeah.
But
I
is
think
he
he's
being? Is he tricking me? Like, is it?
Ooh,
is it
but is it
dinosaur?
is it a reverse trick?
Which way am I getting tricked?
Yeah.
Oklahomadon. Nah, I can't think that's real.
Okay,
Shout-
Yasmin's got some
wait,
thumbs
quick-
down.
Sorry. Quick shouts to M for taking a waffle to the face.
Yeah,
waffle.
that looks really good. I'm gonna go with no, not a dino.
You're going with no, not a dino. You are correct. That is not a dinosaur.
Yes.
6 for 6.
Nice work.
You've already won because you only have to get 6 out of 10. But
Well, I'm getting really attached to my perfection streak.
yeah. We'll see if you can keep this going. Number 7. Did I write this? Pegomastax.
Pegomastax. That's definitely a dinosaur.
That is definitely a dinosaur. You're right. I could barely pronounce that one. 7
Yeah.
for 7. You got 3 more. Here we go. Hamiltomia. Hamiltomia.
No.
Final answer.
Oh no. I should also let you know that I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and I biffed it so hard.
Well, this should be the exact opposite of that because there's literally no money at stake whatsoever. So
Got it. I'm gonna go with not a dinosaur.
Pegos
Hamil
sorry,
one.
Yeah, Hamiltomia. Sorry, we did that one. Hamiltomia.
Not a dinosaur.
Not a dinosaur. You're correct. 8 for 8. That is great. 2 more.
And I know the theme now.
Okay. Don't spoil it. Remember we had Wendy Ceratops next? Judy Ceratops.
Judy Ceratops. Oh. So now that I know the theme, this one could go either way, but I'm gonna go with not a dinosaur. Wait.
I don't see a lot of help from the
I
gallery.
don't see a lot of help. Yasmin thinks it is a dinosaur. Rocks,
by the way,
I'm just-
Rachel,
Yes.
quick shouts
Grace
to
thinks
Tony.
it is. I'm gonna go with yes. Wait, what?
Just shouts to Tony's Colorado background. That's all.
Oh, yay. Judy Saurus. What is
Judy
it?
Ceratops. Michael Partham has a hard thumbs up right now.
All right. Judy Ceratops is a dinosaur.
You are correct. Judy Ceratops is a dinosaur. You are now 9 for 9. To go perfect score, you overachiever. Last but not least, and if you know the theme, I think you'll be able to get this. Les Miserables. Les Miserables.
Yeah. Obviously not a dinosaur. And I never thought a musical theater degree would help me in a science quiz.
Here we go.
But there it is. There it is. You can
Yep.
tell my mom my education was not wasted, even though I will pay for it for the rest of my life.
10 for 10. You're right. So the theme of the Not Dinos was musicals. We had Oliverinkus, Mormonicus, Oklahomadon, Hamiltomia, and Les Miserables. It's just really fun to say Miserables.
Les Miserables. That's great.
I thank you. I made it up. Okay,
Great,
here we go. We did it, you guys. This time we're gonna go through our list of, well, the pseudo top 10 kitschy dinosaur destinations. I'm gonna have some help as we go through. I know Zach has one to share. Sarah McAnulty has one to share. Rachel, obviously you do as well. But let's get this party started with a submission from my friend Julia Kennedy. I have not actually been to this place. So this is number 10. This is Jurassic Putt in Nags Head, North Carolina. Grace, you've been here? Oh, well, she's like, yeah, obviously you've been here. Wait, I didn't know that. What do you want to tell us about it? I had no idea you've been here.
So I'm from Virginia, and we spend a lot of time in the Outer Banks. And Nags Head's one of the main areas in the Outer Banks. Outer Banks is covered with lots of putt-putt, but this one is like super epic.
Yeah, I like this because I've never been here, but like to me, like I have such a nostalgic memory and love for putt-putt. Like I grew up playing putt-putt all the time. I remember like from age probably 18 to 21-ish, like going putt-putting was my go-to date. And so like I would love to do a dino putt-putt, and I've never done it. And I think this one is a great intro to what we're talking about today because it speaks to that weird kitschy nostalgia ability of places like this to like transport you literally in place and time into a world that isn't even remotely accurate. But I think that's how memory works, right? Our memories are not perfect. We like to remember things like the way that makes us feel great and feel something. And so even though I've never been here, I love this spot. And Grace, I guess if and when I'm ever in the Outer Banks, I'm gonna have to meet up with you and Julia. You guys can take me to Jurassic Putt, which is also a good name. It's just a straight up good name. So now, number 9, a little bit closer to home. Raise your hand, has anyone been to Field Station Dinosaurs in Leonia, New Jersey? This is right across the George Washington Bridge. It's literally 10 minutes from Manhattan. Nobody has been here? Anyone? Nobody's been here? That's crazy. I had not been until two years ago. So Field Station Dinosaurs, they have about 60 different animatronic dinosaurs. They actually move and make noises. They're pretty cool looking, and they're adding new ones all the time. Although, like we learned yesterday, this Spinosaurus is incredibly out of date. They should probably have that actually in the Hudson River and not on the water. That is Field Station Dinosaurs. That's Leonia, New Jersey. That is number 9. Number 8 is also a place that I would love to go, but I have not been. And for this, I have to turn it over to the returning champion, Sarah McAnulty. So first of all, Sarah, thank you for being back. Second of all, how does it feel to be like the first person who received 2 Sports Illustrated covers? Like Sports Illustrated didn't double up on cover athletes, and then Michael Jordan was on it for a second time, and then multiple times after that. You're the Michael Jordan of SciComm. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you so much for saying that. It feels great. And thanks for having me on.
You're the SciComm GOAT, and you're going to take us all the way to Sawyer Park in Jersey?
Sawyer Park, yep. Right outside of Bouton, which is somewhat near Dresden in Germany, for those of us who don't have solid Germany geography. Yeah, right. I don't, even though I live there. Okay, yeah, so it's basically just like a park that's full of these very kitschy, very silly, not super anatomically correct dinosaurs. They're all over the place. There's like 30 or more of them, and you can climb on them, and you can take stupid pictures with them.
That's my favorite part, and you can actually like get on top of them, because whenever I see these, I just want to climb on them, and you did.
I know, and a lot of the times they're like, don't climb on the dinosaurs, you know, these are decorative items. But I'm sorry, if you see a dinosaur, I want to climb on it. That's part of the fun. And so these dinosaurs are made to be just climbed all over. It was me and a bunch of other like college students at the time. This was back in 2012, I think. And yeah, it was us and just children, just tiny children. We took the bus an hour to get here in the middle of flippin' nowhere in the eastern part of Germany. And yeah, just a lot of stupid, silly dinosaurs. I love a kitschy dinosaur park.
Question here. First of all, are you wearing a like wolves howling at the moon shirt in this place?
I am wearing a 3 keyboard cat moon shirt, which at the time was very
cool.
prescient.
Very, very cool. Also, almost as cool as these enormously crazy looking iguanodon thumb spikes.
I love the iguanodon because they're always giving positive vibes, you know?
Positive vibes. This is not the only time we're going to see iguanodon today, but I do love this place because I had never heard of it. And Rachel, or Sarah, you obviously had a great time there. But like you said, you actually get to like climb on and interact with the dinos, which is the exact opposite of like a museum, which again,
right.
These are destinations today. None of them can be museums or dig sites. They have to be, well, you're looking at it. Kitschy destinations like this. Sarah, have you ever taken a better photo than this one though?
I don't think so. I think this should probably be just put on my tombstone when the time comes.
I should mention, this is not a dinosaur though, right?
No, it's not, but it's still pretty great.
It is pretty great. So that is Sawyer Park in Germany. We are going now to a different country across the pond. Zach, where's Zach? Let me find Zach.
Across the pond to Canada.
Across the pond.
So before we show the pictures, this is a wonderful place in Canada called Drumheller. It's in the middle of Alberta. You're driving through what essentially is just like the plains of the central Canada, and then all of a sudden you hit the Badlands. So it gets like crazy, crazy, crazy. And when you're entering this town, Dustin, are you going to show these pictures? There we go. As you're entering town, you get hit with this like gigantic, massive Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think this is like holds the title. Yeah, you wrote it. World's largest dinosaur.
That's what they call it.
Yeah, it's like Guinness. I think it's like the Guinness World Record holder for the world's largest dinosaur. I think that's because it is about 86 feet tall. So that's like 4 times the size of the largest T-Rex specimen that we found.
Wow, yeah, it's big. It literally is the world's largest dinosaur, and I wanted to show this picture because you're right, Zach. You're like driving through the Badlands, there's nothing, and all of a sudden there's this dino, and they're like, oh, just in case you missed, literally the world's largest dinosaur. We'll put a slightly smaller version right into the road. I do love that. So that's what it looks like from the outside. Zach, you want to talk us through what it looks like from the parking lot?
Yeah, so when you get in there, it is just humongous. Obviously, that's Dustin and I sitting there in the snowstorm, like teensy tiny. They say that there's like over 100 stairs, and you can actually climb up it and get into the mouth. Dustin and I sadly didn't do that, but we have a great vantage point. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we didn't. I don't. Either it wasn't open or like we're not paying.
I think it was closed. Yeah, sadly.
So this is what it looks like from the outside. Zach, luckily you sent me a picture of what it looks like from the inside of the gift shop.
Very important.
Yep.
We spent a lot of time in there taking those photos. I think you and I both also own world's largest dinosaur socks as well.
We do. Mine are in New York. Those are
same
socks. That's such a weird, cool spot, especially because it's literally, I don't know, less than a mile down the road from Royal Terrell, which is basically Canada's dinosaur museum.
Yeah, I mean, the whole town is totally geeked out over dinosaurs, clearly, because even though they have the largest dinosaur, they also are full of all sorts of other smaller dinosaurs, like that little T-Rex. So I think they're like my favorite dinosaur town, I would say.
I can't think of a more dino-centric town. That might be it.
No. That's
all
it.
Right, that was number 7. Zach, thank you for showing us number 7, which is again world's largest dinosaur in Drumheller. That's in Alberta, in Canada. Moving on. So now we are getting to 2 that have very similar names, 2 of which I have not actually been. Oh, wait a minute. I skipped one. Oh boy, this one's even better. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know this existed until maybe a month or 2 ago, and I'd forgotten about it. Has anyone ever heard of or been to Dinosaur Kingdom 2? In Natural Bridge, Virginia? Kelly, I'm calling you out just because I want you to pay close attention because I think this is really going to be up your alley. So I just learned about this. So Dinosaur Kingdom 2, I'm actually going to, if I can find it, read the description because this does better than I could. So Dinosaur Kingdom 2, which is in Natural Bridge, Virginia. It was built in 2005. The park statues are built around the premise that paleontologists discovered dinosaurs in Virginia in 1863 when the Union Army attempted to use dinosaurs as weapons, and then the dinosaurs turned on them. So apparently they chose to use the Union Army instead to win local favor, claiming that people still fight the Civil War down here. Don't worry, there's also another park planned near Gettysburg where the Confederates will be attacked and beaten by the dinosaurs. So basically what I'm telling you right now is this is an interpretation of a dinosaur park where they are fighting in the Civil War. Each picture is weirder than the last. I'm not really sure. Apparently Triceratops are pushing this guy off of whatever this bridge situation is. Oh, don't worry. There's absolutely an Abraham Lincoln. I think the raptor behind him may be holding the Gettysburg Address in his mouth. And this is what we mean by weird dinosaur kitsch. This is clearly not an academic, to scale, or anatomically correct spot. It is just so freaking weird. And I love the way that people's imaginations will take dinosaurs and put them in any context, including the Civil War. Sure, why not? So for me, that is a place I absolutely want to go. Again, that's Dinosaur Kingdom 2. That is number 6 on our list in Natural Bridge, Virginia. And now we're going to move on to the 2 that I think I got the most messages on Twitter about. First, and they have a very similar name also, this is Dinosaur World. So this is Dinosaur World in Hillsborough County, Florida. So first of all, A+ sign and dino outside leading you in. You're really building up expectations when I'm coming down the highway and I see this guy. So Dinosaur World and Dinosaur Land are relatively similar. I'll show you guys some of the dinos here. Here's another T-Rex shot from Dinosaur World. Again, I have not been here. This is definitely on the list of destinations. This appears to be a pack of maybe Velociraptor digging into a dead something. Not really sure. This one is probably my favorite, though, because this is Zach's favorite. I assume this is Zach's favorite dinosaur. Zach, do you think this is a pachycephalosaur?
I mean, it's sure. I'll take that as a sure.
Sure.
That's the scariest pachycephalosaurs I've ever seen.
Yeah,
but yes.
It's very upright. I like that it has 5 human fingers too. That's I like that. A little tall. So that's
it's perfectly domed head. Come on, you don't see that often.
I also like that this dinosaur has pecks. That's not a thing I generally see on a dinosaur. Very defined chest situations going on. He works out a lot.
Yeah, he's not a meathead. He's a bonehead. All right. That was a bad dad joke for your bingo squares. All right, so that's Dinosaur World in Hillsborough County, Florida. Moving on to Dinosaur Land in White Post, Virginia. Grace, as a native of nearby, have you been to this one?
No, and I didn't know there were so many dinosaur attractions in my home state. Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask my parents why they haven't been driving me to these bizarre dinosaur locations all around.
Jim is really
Oh, my dad says it's because we're normal and we don't go to things like this.
Jim,
But I will say that both of these locations are like far out west in the like mountains, like close to West Virginia. So they're kind of far away.
that sounds like an excuse to me because I would head immediately to this place. I love the sign here because it's like, let's put dinosaurs in like very medieval times. And when you look at the rest of the dinos and even the fonts, like I think this is based off of the sign of Disneyland out in LA. But it's like got this strange medieval vibe, which makes it feel very like, again, very kitschy and cinematic almost. I don't, is this a giant?
It's like a dragon and a tiger or something, or is with that sign? Like, and a cactus. I'm so confused.
Yeah, there's a lot going. There's also like a King Kong there. There's other stuff other than just dinosaurs at Dinosaur Land.
And Sarah, is that a squid also?
Where?
Well, is that a squid?
Where is there a squid?
Right there.
Oh, that situation. That, you know, I'm going to give that octopus. I think that is an octopus.
That might be an octopus.
It's just so much.
Probably.
Which makes sense for Dinosaur Land. I believe this might be a T-Rex eating a pterosaur of some variety. Not really sure. So these are getting on being so bad they're good. Like this is just great. I love that they decided to put the blood on there, letting it drip down. I'm not sure what dinos that are, and I don't think it's easy for us to identify most. It's probably just T-Rex and Brontosaurus. I like, though, there is a little bit of signage. Us museum goers, we like to make sure we have informative copy, maybe a QR code on the signage so people can do a little more research on their own. Down the bottom right, there's that epic battle signage, because that is obviously the most epic battle you're going to see at Dinosaur Land in White Post, Virginia. It sounds like maybe, Rachel, we should plan like a East Coast dinosaur kitsch trip.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've been taking notes this whole time. It's almost entirely in Virginia.
Who knew? Can we go back to that first slide with the Dinosaur Land slide? Because Megan said that it says it's educational on there. So, you know, they're positioning themselves as an educational institution, which is very interesting.
I mean, all of these places are somewhat educational, right? I mean, maybe a little less than Jurassic Park, let's say, but the whole point is to get people more excited about dinosaurs, and hopefully they're going to want to learn more and, you know, realize that maybe this isn't the perfectly anatomically correct model that we think. Who even knows? All right.
I really wish we could zoom in on that sign and read what it says.
Can someone in the Zoom Google Dinosaur Land White Post epic battle sign? We'll see if we can find it. All right, Rachel, your time is nigh. You are from Colorado.
Yeah, so I grew up.
Best if you talked about this. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, so I grew up, you know, doing a lot of like little kid fossil hunting, which was mostly like finding chicken bones in the woods and being like, it's a piece of a dinosaur. But truthfully, in Colorado, there are loads and loads of actual fossil sites, and like, it would not be completely out of the question for me to have been wandering through the woods and to find, well, maybe it would be, I don't know. I believe one of those chicken bones was a fossil. But in Colorado, there's this amazing place. It's a Best Western, where the owners of the Best Western, Greg and Meredith Tully, spent $5 million remodeling their Best Western to make it the Dinosaur Hotel. And my favorite thing about the interview that Atlas Obscura did with Greg and Meredith is that they were really committed to like having it be not kitschy. Like they wanted it to be borderline scientifically accurate. And you've been there, Dustin. I have not been there, though I've driven past it many, many times because they've got like a big dinosaur mural on the outside of this Best Western. Yeah, let's see what it looks like.
We're going in. So yeah, right when you enter, you notice that immediately this is not like a normal hotel. And you're right, it isn't kitschy in the sense that it's inaccurate, but it's technically not a museum at all, so we could include it today. But yeah, it's the coolest, weirdest, nerdiest dino hotel ever.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things that I learned about this place is that they have a collection of skulls, and they've named the skulls. Did they talk to you about this when you were there, Dustin?
Please tell me.
Oh yeah, so they have 3 skulls that they've named. They've got an Edmontosaurus named Eddie. They have an Allosaurus skull named Jim Bob, and then I'm probably totally gonna incorrectly pronounce this, but a Pachycephalosaurus, that's right.
Zach,
And
is that correct? Zach's favorite
yes,
dino?
and it's,
Yes? Okay.
apologies to the kids in the room. It's named Butthead.
It's a good name.
It's a good name. So they have those 3 skulls. And yeah, they like actually consulted paleontologists and got like museum quality casts. They spent $5 million making this Best Western in Lakewood, Colorado, which is like a suburb of Denver, into the Dinosaur Hotel.
So I have a question for you. As someone who like thinks about destinations, obviously you have to think about like tourism and hotels. There is no way you would know that was a dino hotel until you walk in, because the mural you talked about, like the entire backside in the parking lot is painted with this paleo mural, and there's no signage on the front. So like until you walk in, you're just walking into a regular Best Western, and then all of a sudden you're in a dinosaur museum. Like I assume obviously that was a conscious choice. What I'm just curious, like if they spent that much money, why would they not like advertise that?
Yeah, I mean that's a really good question. I think, and I don't know the answer to it. I mean, it is still a Best Western, so I'm sure they still have like brand guidelines they have to adhere to.
Yeah.
But then it's a franchise, so it's, you know, they own it. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's just one of those things where, and I think you'll see this with a lot of the dinosaur places that we've talked about leading up to this. It's just some people are really into dinosaurs and they choose to spend their money and their time making a dinosaur thing. How cool.
I love the idea though of people booking a Best Western outside of Colorado and then walking in and being like, what the?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure that happens. Oh, I'm sure.
Sure. And in the interview with them, they were saying that they didn't want it to be kitschy, specifically because they're like, we want business people to be able to come here and feel comfortable having their meetings. And I was like, cool. I would have a meeting in front of that giant Allosaurus skull.
Important dinosaur business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a cool Best Western for sure. I'm excited to go back. That was number 3. I have actually been there. I've also actually been to the next stop. I think probably a lot of you have been. In fact, I think a couple of you I've actually been with to this spot, CABAZON Dinosaur. So CABAZON is located in Riverside County, California. It's about halfway between LA and Palm Springs if you're doing that drive. These guys are pretty iconic. They were in the, I think it was like 1983, somewhere in the 80s, a Pee Wee Herman movie, made them a lot more popular, like in pop culture. I think I have visited twice. So Zach earlier showed us the world's largest dino, which Zach, did you say it's like something 80, 85 feet tall, somewhere in there?
Yeah, like 86 feet.
86. So this T-Rex that you see behind me is only 65 feet tall. So I guess the world's largest dino does have like accuracy to their claim. Now you may notice the dinosaur like here versus this one are different colors. A lot of these get repainted and retouched up periodically. So you can see this is kind of the older coloration. This is probably from at least 15, 20 years ago versus now it's much more brownish. I obviously had to wear my sauropod socks when we went to visit. This is me in front of the T-Rex. And this is me, Zach, Kelly, and Meg. Zach, you were there. There's just a lot going on in this picture on the right that I like. I think Kelly is trying to floss. Kelly, is that correct that you're trying to floss in the background there? I'm going to unmute you for a second.
No, I was doing the Pee Wee Herman tequila dance.
Oh,
You know,
Appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
On theme. That's
Okay.
all I know. That's all I got, as you can see.
Is that how you curried favor from the Elvis impersonator that was playing dulcet tones from the back porch of a Mexican restaurant across the street?
Yeah. My
Yeah.
soulmate. Yeah.
There was just a guy with a giant like loudspeaker dressed as Elvis playing songs.
He really just made the whole experience a different thing altogether.
Yeah. So if you go to CABAZON, you don't have to actually go inside. Obviously, these pictures are taken from the outside. You can pay, I think it's like $15 or so to go inside behind that like red gate. There's some other small dinos. You can actually go up inside the T-Rex and look out through its mouth, which seems pretty cool. I did not pay the fee, mostly because, so first of all, this place was built back in 1964, and the original owners then sold it about 30 years later, and the people who own it now are hardcore creationists. So if you do buy a ticket to go inside, the receipt says, designed by God, not by chance. So just take that for what you will. So that is the CABAZON dinosaurs. Oh yeah, by the way, that T-Rex is 65 feet tall. That Bronto is about 150 feet long. So these are obviously much larger than the real dinosaurs, but yo, this is Dino Kitsch. That's how we do. Speaking of starting Dino Kitsch, we have to go to probably the place that started it all. I have not been. This is maybe number 1 on my destination list, at least for dinosaur kitschy places. This is the Crystal Palace Dinosaurs in London. So there's a place called Crystal Palace Park, and in this park, there are a bunch of different animals. In fact, there are 15 different animals, not all dinosaurs. But I wanted to bring this up because this is basically where this type of thing all started, because this was commissioned way back in 1852, and then it opened in 1854. To put a little bit of time context, so 1852 is when it was commissioned. 1842 is the year Sir Richard Owen first coined the term dinosauria, and then used 3 dinosaurs, 3 animals to put in that group to first make the group that we now call dinosaurs. And those 3 are actually represented here at the park. And I'll show you guys to them now because he was actually the scientific consultant working with the sculptor who made these. So this is what the whole, well, most of the park looks like. We zoom in a little bit more. Anyone have any guess as to what dinosaur this might be? Or this one? Or this one? Because I couldn't figure this out until I looked them up, because these are horribly inaccurate models of those first 3: Iguanodon, Megalosaurus, and Hylaeosaurus. So this one right here is supposed to be a Megalosaurus. These are supposed to be Iguanodon. And you can see what they look like. The ones on the right, where the paint jobs on them were from about 20, 30 years ago. They're recently restored to this more like, I don't know, greenish color without the underbelly shading. They're also, again, like I mentioned, not all dinos. Here's an ichthyosaur. You may actually see the ichthyosaur in the foreground in this picture right here. And I think it was about 2 years ago, Crystal Palace did a big fundraiser to build a bridge so that people could actually go across the water and hang out on these little islands with the dinos. Because I guess until really recently, you had to just walk around in this pathway. You can get up close. Getting up close is dangerous, though, at least for me, because the number one thing I would want to do is absolutely get on and ride those. But this is where it started. This is 1852. This is the workshop, or a sketching of the workshop of the sculptor before they actually put these out in the park. Again, the 3 big ones you see, Iguanodon, Megalosaurus, and Hylaeosaurus. They're not all dinos. You see something in the back that looks like some sort of mammal with a proboscis, like a half snout. And whatever type of weird turtle action guy is in the bottom right is anyone's guess but my own. Oh, I also noticed there's a person in there for scale. These guys are very large and very inaccurate. And I think that is why for 150 some years, they have captured the hearts of people from across the world. This might be the world's number one dinosaur kitsch destination. And it definitely is number 1 on our list because I made the list last night and that's where I want to go. So we have just went through 10 of the world's best dinosaur kitschy destinations. We have about 10 minutes to do questions and comments. I would love to hear A, your questions, B, your comments on any of the weirdness we just saw. Or if you have one you've been to, you want to tell us about, we can add to the list. Grace, what do we got from the chat room? Also, Zach, Rachel, Sarah, feel free to give us any of your thoughts on these comments. So it's not just me talking this entire time. Grace, hit us.
Yeah, so Catherine wants to know, why hasn't someone made Jurassic Park a real theme park, or have they? She's not sure if there's something in the US, like we have Harry Potter World here, but like, who owns Jurassic Park? Is it like Universal or something?
So that's probably why. I mean, isn't there the Jurassic Park experience, like at Universal Studios?
Yeah, there's a ride, but right. I mean, it's a good point. Like, you think someone should make like a whole Jurassic Park somewhere, but I don't know.
I mean, I would guess that's copyright and ownership. I mean, they have such ownership over the Jurassic Park franchise and stuff. So yeah, maybe they could. They'd probably make a lot of money doing their own Jurassic Park themed thing somewhere. But yeah, I think it's probably because most of these are made by private citizens and they're not using like intellectual property from a movie franchise. And that's also probably why a lot of these don't look so realistic. They're not made in conjunction with like a movie or a museum or a dig site. And that's, I think, one of the reasons why they're so much fun and lovable.
I know we're all like obsessed with dinosaurs, but I would love to see a Jurassic plant park.
Yeah.
With like as many of the plants that existed back then as is possible to cultivate. That would be my like ultimate theme park nerd trip. Yeah.
So Clark wants to know. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask if you've ever played Dr. Ellie Sattler, paleobotanist, for Halloween, because I think you could pull. No, the shirt isn't so far off already. You need
this year.
Yeah. Are we going to have Halloween this year? I don't know. Grace, what's our next one?
We'll have a digital Halloween. So Clark wants to know why, and this is for anyone, why do we think that dinosaur kitsch phenomenon is mostly an American thing? Or any of our, you know, over the seas friends, if you want to message me and let me know about things in your area, but it seems to be heavily American.
Yeah. I mean, my first thought is just that like we found more dinosaurs in the United States than anywhere else. But other than that, I don't know. I'm curious to know, like Zach, Rachel, Sarah, do you guys have any thoughts as to why it seems like almost an exclusively American thing? Although we did have a couple.
I don't think it is at all. I mean, we just saw that it all started in London, you said, right?
Yep.
And then I had one in Germany. There were a couple of them in Germany. I think maybe it's just I mean, we certainly have maybe a higher density here, but we're a pretty big country.
Yeah.
I think also
the dinosaur parks in China. We found so many dinosaurs in China, right?
Go ahead,
I
Zach.
wonder if it has to do with space too. You know, like in Europe, not as much space to have giant dinosaurs, you know, just randomly hanging out. But in America, we've got a lot of plains, we got a lot of space. You know, some of the largest dinosaurs we have in the United States too are all part of like the giants of the prairies, they call them, right? Like the series of giant things that we have across the United States. So that also might be part of it. We're just obsessed with large things in America.
We do, and we do like hitting Guinness Book of World Record like superlatives. So yeah, that's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you said it first, Sarah. It's just like we live in the most of us live in the States, so we're more aware of things here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to know actually specifically about what was the one that's near the Royal Tyrrell again?
The world's largest dinosaur?
Yeah, like what is the relationship between Royal Tyrrell and them? And I guess more broadly, like what do museums think about these things? Do they like that it gets people interested, or do they hate that it's taking away money from real educational institutions? You know, I work at a museum, so I'm kind of like iffy on these places.
Zach,
that's that's a really good question. I think that Drumheller in general is pretty out of the way. So I think the dinosaur attraction is just like a big part of the culture and the tourism of Drumheller. Yeah. So the museum, I think, was originally brought there in the 80s. And I think that was probably when a lot of these statues were put in place too, just as a way to draw people to the area, because Alberta, Canada, and particularly that area in Drumheller has like one of the highest concentrations of like dinosaur fossil discoveries. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Dustin, but I'm pretty sure that museum is also the like repository for all of Alberta. So like if anybody finds a dinosaur bone in Alberta, it has to go to that museum.
Yeah. I mean, I bet like this place, I think the world's largest dinosaur probably was built to capitalize on all the dinosaur tourism that was already coming there. I don't think it's really like taking money away, because like we did, Zach, we just went and took a photo op, but we were there to go see the Royal Tyrrell. Like, I don't think anyone's going to Drumheller just to see that and then not going to the Dino Museum.
Yeah.
Good question though.
Fair. Zuzana, sorry if I'm totally butchering that name, wants everyone to know that there are 5 big dino parks in the tiny country of the Czech Republic. So something for everyone to look into.
Rachel, I know you don't do international trips, but just
I'm writing it down.
Okay,
I'm writing it down. That is going through to my colleague that does the international trips.
We should definitely check that out.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, Margot says that there is a dino park in Scotland that also has a bouncy castle, which sounds amazing.
Writing that down. Who doesn't love a bounce house? Good bounce house. Yeah. Okay, we got a couple more minutes. Any others, Grace?
Everyone's talking about Reptile Land, which I've never heard of.
Where?
Hold on, I'm looking it up right now. I got a few people mentioning Reptile Land, which has a dinosaurs come to life section. So this is in Allenwood, Pennsylvania. Zach, do you know about this?
I don't. I've never been there.
Interesting.
What's it called? Allenwood?
Reptile Land in Allenwood.
No.
Experience dinosaurs come to life with life-size animatronic dinosaurs that roar, spit, and bellow. Embark on this outdoor adventure to find 12 different species of dinos, including one living example. This exhibit also features static dinosaurs, a climbable model for picture taking, and a recreated paleontologist dig site and fossil dig. Cool.
That brings up a question. I'm about to launch a poll. So we've seen a lot of like big mock-ups of dinos, like in Sawyer Park, for instance. Sarah, those didn't move at all, right?
No.
But like at Field Station Dinosaurs, there's some sort of movement and they make sound. So I'm curious to know, if you were going to a dinosaur kitschy place, do you prefer movement or no movement for these big models? I'm curious to know. For me, I can go either way. Part of me thinks it kind of takes away from it. I don't know. Ooh, this is polarizing.
Yeah, wow.
50-50. Okay.
I think if they're not moving, I must be able to climb on them.
Okay.
What
If
if it moves and you can climb on it?
Sarah, I've never agreed with anything more in my life.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to share we got
Wow.
a couple of seconds.
Really
Wow.
close.
Yeah, 45. A few of you haven't voted. We're going to end the poll. I'm going to share this. There we go. Pretty close. I don't know how there's 51% and 55%. That math doesn't quite work out, but we'll send a note to Zoom. All right, it's 12:50. Maybe more than ever, I'm excited to go through this paleo art gallery. So I'm going to rely a lot as we go through on my fellow co-hosts and museum nerd experts, Grace, Zach, Rachel, Sarah. I'm going to need some takes on this, what is, I'm sure, to be tremendous paleo art. Here we go. Yeah, so you guys, please hold up whatever you have drawn today. I'm excited to see these because who even knows where this is going. So we're going to start with Megan here. Parasaur Waffle House.
Oh, amazing.
Yep.
At first, I thought that was a water polo ball that this dinosaur was holding, and I was really excited, but waffles are also pretty great.
Shouts to Sarah for saying water. I was waiting to see how long it would take you for saying water. Water. Here we go. Jada. We got para swings. Oh, that's a really cool idea.
That is beautiful.
Oh, but like that's such a cool idea to have them be pterosaurs. Oh, I love that.
It's like the Dumbo ride at Disneyland, but with it's so cool.
Yep. Speaking of rides, we got a carousel. We got a dino carousel. I'm sure that exists. I feel like I've been to ones that are that have at least one dino. I don't know if I've seen an entire dinosaur carousel.
Amazing.
Great.
Those are really good artists.
Yeah,
I'm so impressed every day with all of them.
I actually want to say that for clarification, that is a merry-go-round. It's not a carousel. Carousels only have horses.
That's true. That's true.
Merry-go-rounds have any kind of whatever.
That's true. Facts.
You never know you're going to need to know that. That's good.
Archaea texture. That's good. I like that. Ooh, it almost looks like medieval times, but with dinos.
Oh, 100% would go.
Yeah, that's a matchup.
Prehistoric times.
Yep. That's a matchup I'm here for. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. This is
I love everything about this.
Wow. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar style T-Rex. Into it.
Love that lipstick.
Let's look at Martin's here. I can't. It's a little
artist.
blurry. Martin, can you move it away from your screen a little bit?
We've got like a roller coaster going through a volcano or something.
With a T-Rex eating a person?
Oh, no, it's a slide.
Yeah. Okay.
So
oh my gosh.
Okay, there we go. It's a slide through the
Impressive.
body. I like that. Fair because you guys, we're just everything. First of all, everything is tubes. And if you think about yourself, you're just one big tube. Food is never in your body. It goes through the tube and your body grabs it. Anyway, tubes. Am I right, Kelly? Kelly loves tubes. All right. Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
That's cute.
That's so cute.
Is this like the top of a hot air balloon? You go for a ride? Yeah. Okay.
Those are so cool.
I like that. Oh, here we go. Vegas.
Awesome.
This is like Westworld, but I mean, speaking of getting to ride them.
Was there like a must be a good artist prerequisite for this? Everyone's drawings are so good.
Listen, when you practice a thing every day for 34 days straight, I hope you get a little bit better at it. That's all. Do we have any? Oh, here's a whole gallery. This is a park I would go to immediately.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
The bull. That's so awesome.
That's awesome. I hope those horns are made of foam or something so you don't get gored.
Totally.
Yeah, and I see all the music notes. I hope that every song that plays in this place is like a top 40 pop hit where the lyrics have been rewritten to be about dinosaurs.
I support that completely.
I would listen to that.
On the same page.
Yeah, that would be a good soundscape. How about this guy? Camarasaur's Cableway.
Oh, that's cute.
That's so cool.
Alliteration always gets you bonus points. I like that a lot. It's a very short cableway. I hope you get to like crawl through the rest of them though. Uh-oh. All right. This is Rachel, thoughts? How do we feel about this?
Oh, this is amazing. Wait, I'm trying to read where it is. It's in Germany.
Wait, is that?
There's like a rock climbing wall up the side of the, this definitely fulfills Sarah's prerequisite of if it's not moving, you have to be able to climb on it.
What is the Chris? Is that like
that? Yeah.
Is his back leg wearing a fishnet stockings? What's
Is it the rope you can climb on? Like,
Yeah, I think it's like one of those nets that you climb. It's a whole like rope
Yep.
course.
Oh, this is great.
This is making me realize we didn't feature anything that was specifically like a jungle gym, climb on park. I guess the swings are similar, but like I'm sure there's playgrounds out there. But like there's one in Flushing Meadows in Queens. Did you know that, Rachel? Out by the like in Flushing Meadows, there's a dinosaur playground.
What?
I totally forgot about that.
I can't wait to, oh man, love Queens. I can't wait to go out there. Oh, wow.
This is awesome.
What
Does this really exist?
Oh,
Oh my God, it's real.
Is there a name for those little things? Do we know?
Bouncy something?
Righty guy? I don't know. Oh, well.
Bonus points for the adorable picture.
Golfosaurus.
Oh, fun.
That
lost
one's
a tooth.
all right, we got our
Congratulations.
we got our last couple here. Jurassic
Spot.
Okay. I like you. You're really on the marketing side here. We need to be able to push this out, get people to know what's happening.
Are those like Polaroids that people have taken in there? Oh, those are great. Oh, your dinosaur's cute.
Oh, you named it after me, Maddie.
Oh, nice. So nice.
Incredibly blessed right now. Look at Proviniraptor here.
Whoa.
Oh, cool.
And
When dinosaurs ruled the earth.
these are so good. All right, I think we got one last one. We got Alicia. Oh, wow. Bongo.
Oh, awesome.
Amazing.
Bongo is a really good dino name, right?
Is that a slide next to it that you can go down? Oh, cool.
It almost looks like you have to climb the tree to get into the slide. I'm here for it. For it. So we are coming to the end of our time together. Super set here. I want to remind you guys, if you want to throw us a bone and support this, that we do literally every single day. I'm Dustin-Growick on Venmo. Rachel, do you have any last words before we go, other than to tell everyone how excited you are about our next dino trip? I'm incredibly excited. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we want everybody to be able to get out and explore once all of this is over, but Zach is on the call too. And we're also working on this big initiative called Wonder from Home, where we've got videos and experiences and all sorts of amazing stuff that you can do from home on Atlas Obscura's website. So trying to encourage people to, look out your windows, look around your house, and explore while we're all here in our homes.
It's kind of bittersweet to explore it now, but I think it's actually kind of like really giving at least me life to like think about these amazing adventures that we're going to get on once we hunker down and get through this.
And I actually have to run because I have a call in 2 minutes with a herpetologist about a herpetology trip for 2021.
Go get it. I'm so excited.
You guys are all amazing, and have a great rest of your day. And thank you for having me on.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Rachel. Thanks to Zach, obviously. Zach, do you have any final last words?
No, I just think everyone should definitely check out Atlas Obscura's Wonder from Home. We've got some super cool experiences going on that you guys might like. Other than that, thanks for having me today, Dustin.
Of course, returning guests. And then do we lose Sarah?
I'm here. I'm right here.
There you are. Sarah, returning champion. Thank you again for joining us. Can you tell people about the Skype of Scientists trivia that you've been doing? I know tonight's is sold out, but I'm curious to know because they're so much fun.
Yeah, let me tell you a couple things about Skype of Scientists. So
Please.
If you want scientists to be speaking with your group, your family, your classroom, your scout troop, whatever, go to skypeofscientist.com and you can get matched with a scientist for free to have a chat with your group. Also, we do live streams every day, almost never overlapping with Dino 101, but so we're normally at 1 o'clock, and we cover all sorts of topics. Today we're talking about shark jaws at 2 p.m. Eastern.
Hear that, Jada? Jada, we have a shark scientist here. Just want to make sure Jada heard that. 2 p.m. sharks. Go ahead.
It'll be like sharks and fish and jaws and all sorts of other stuff. And also for adults, not for kids, we do trivia every Thursday night. It's $5 to play, and that's the only thing we charge for at Skype a Scientist. And it's to support our program because right now it's hard to get funding because the world is in a
economy.
tough place. But if you want to have fun with your friends, bring a group together, play some trivia, hang out with some science nerds, a lot like this, but with a game involved, another game involved. This has games too, Dustin. You should do it. Go to skypeascientist.com to learn more. Follow us at Skype Scientist on Twitter, Skype A Scientist on Instagram. Almost all of our content is free. We got a YouTube, we got all kinds of stuff. And we'd love to have you participate in our program.
I love having you participate every single time. So thank you, Sarah, for being here. You guys, tomorrow, we have a couple things to announce for tomorrow. So first of all, like every day, we're going to do this again at noon. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about terror birds. Do you know, if you don't know what terror birds is, buckle up because they are insane. So I think the largest birds that have ever existed. So we're going to talk about terror birds tomorrow at noon. And then tomorrow night, because we've such a demand from the adults here, we are going to do a Friday evening session, 8 or 9 p.m. I'm not decided yet. Let's just say we're going to talk about dinosaur matrimony. Is that fair, Grace? Can we call it dinosaur matrimony?
No, because I think you're saying that one has to follow the other. I think we're talking about dinosaur connections and
how two dinosaurs meet and come together.
We're talking about dinosaurs' physical relationships.
How dinosaurs make more dinosaurs.
Yeah.
There you go. But not always. But not always. Sometimes they have physical relationships without making dinosaurs.
So true. So true.
Anyway, the adults know what we're talking about.
We're going to do that tomorrow night, 8 or 9 p.m. I haven't decided yet, but tomorrow at noon, we're doing terror birds. Terror birds are bonkers, insane. They basically had huge beaks to stab right through the skull of tiny animals below them. Yikes. So that's tomorrow, terror birds, and then dinosaur relations tomorrow night for the adults, for the grown and sexy. So here we go. I don't care if you're browsing Atlas Obscura's website or you're trying to figure out what the heck I'm talking about for tomorrow night. Never stop digging. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Grace. And thank you, Rachel. Peace out. Have a great Thursday. Bye, everybody.